All right, folks, welcome to Sports by Cap, episode 25. We're talking about the Portland Trailblazers, and the NBA Finals has passed. The one of the craziest beginnings to the offseason in NBA history has started, and it started Sunday with a crazy trade with the Rockets, which I'm not going to talk about right now. But there is a trade that I want to talk about that happened on Monday that included the Portland Trailblazers. So it's a perfect opportunity to talk about that trade and show you what the cap situation is now for the Portland Trailblazers. Okay, I will have a separate video talking about each trade from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on. I'm going to cover all the trades, but I'm going to do it one video at a time. That way you can pick the video you want and then watch that. And I may do a recap show as well where I talk about all the trades that happened. We'll see how that goes. So I want to talk about the Portland Trailblazers. And so let's head over to Fanspo and take a look at the first thing I want to talk about is the trade that happened on Monday between the Portland Trailblazers and the Boston Celtics, which included Drew Holiday for Anfernee Simons. I hope I didn't butcher his name too much, but that's basically what it is. And the Celtics got 2 second-round picks and Mr. Simons for Drew Holiday. So let's look at that trade, and then we're going to look at the salary cap situation for the Portland Trailblazers. Okay. So if I go to the Boston Celtics and then I go to the Portland Trailblazers, we can see that the trade's already been done. Okay. So in this, but we can still talk about it. So you can see that the Celtics are $7 million below the second apron. The Portland Trailblazers are way under the first apron. They got, what's their payroll right now? They have $175 million. Now, is this a weird trade or an interesting trade? To me, it's a little weird because Portland is in an endless rebuild. Okay, I think the last time that they were competitive, they had Damian Lillard on their team. And so I want to bring up a scenario that is possible. I'm not saying that this is a rumor or that there's any credibility to what I'm saying. It's just a creative idea for the Milwaukee Bucks to get off of Damian Lillard and for them to reload, and then also for Damian Lillard to find his way back to Portland. Okay, so let's look at that trade because there is a way that everybody could win in that scenario, and it's literally just undoing the Drew Holiday trade because the Bucks traded him to Portland for Damian Lillard. Okay, and it's a weird thing because when the Bucks traded for Damian Lillard, they traded Drew Holiday to Portland, and then Portland traded him to Boston. So it's like those 3 teams are always doing deals with each other, you know. So let's look at this scenario and see if this would work. So first thing I want to do is I want to grab Drew Holiday, I want to send him to Milwaukee, and I want to send Damian Lillard back to Portland. Let's just see if that works straight up or if we need to get a third team involved to make that trade work. And you say, well, why would the Portland Trailblazers want to do this deal? Okay, and we could also send DeAndre Ayton to Milwaukee. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so the only way that this trade would actually work is that the Bucks got involved and said, hey, we want Drew Holiday. He's not allowed to be traded until August 24th unless there's an adjustment to the trade, and then he would be able to be traded to anywhere that they want to reroute him, you know. So that's one scenario. Now let's look at just so that trade didn't go through, but Um, they would have to rework it in order for that to work. Because what happened is that the Celtics traded for him immediately after he was traded to Portland. So, but Milwaukee, or really any other team, could do a bunch of different things. So let's look at their payroll. Okay, so they have 175 million. They got a bunch of cap holds here. We're going to undo those cap holds, right? We don't want to have any cap holds. And I want to look at their team and kind of see what they're doing because, like I said, they're in an endless rebuild. I don't really understand what they're doing. And if I look at their books, you can kind of see that they're a little dysfunctional. They have, salaries on the books for 3 years. Okay? So it's not that it's dysfunctional, it's just it doesn't make sense what they're doing. True Holiday is 35. DeAndre Ayton is 26. Jeremy Grant is 31. And Robert Williams III is 27. So you got a lot of, and then Scoot Henderson and etc. So they have a lot of cap space on their books available. So here, instead of sending True Holiday to Milwaukee, let's call the Bucks and let's get Damian Lillard. And then let's send DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams III, let's say, to Milwaukee. And I'll give him this guy too. Okay, and you say, why are you doing that? Well, because we're going to take on Damian Lillard's salary. Okay. And really what we're doing is we're creating cap space for the future. So you can see that Damian Lillard takes up 54 million. He's going to opt into the 58 million. And they would have 169, 169, and then 95. And literally, that would clear up a lot of the books so that when 2027 comes around, even if these guys opt in, you only have a few salaries on the books. And if I was the Portland Trailblazers, what I would do is I would renounce all of these cap holds because, this guy, okay, he's probably decent. All right, I won't renounce him, but I'll renounce these guys, okay, if I can. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'm just joking. I know what I'm doing. It's just this, sometimes it doesn't do what I want it to do. Okay, he's 25, 22, 32. Okay. So the thing I'm going to say about all this stuff, and we'll re-sign this guy, and let's give him a 3-year contract. So I'm going to give everybody a 3-year deal, so that way all of our books are lined up. And so we need 2 more players. And let me see if that works. Okay, that works. And then I need 1 more player, and then we're there. Let me see here. Perfect. Okay, so we got 15 players. I'm going to get rid of these cap holds. Okay, so we have 176, 177, 102. And you can see, okay, we got everybody's locked in for the most part for 3 years. We got a couple people that have 2 years left, 1 year left, 1 year left, etc. Right? So we're right there where we need to be. All right. Now, if we wanted to go big whale hunting, okay, we got Damian Lillard back for salary dump, so we could get picks from the Milwaukee Bucks to take on this. And if the Bucks got all these guys, that would reload them and they could be competitive. Because the East, I just want to say something about the East, okay? Because it's a very disappointing way to end the finals. Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles, and the Thunder won the championship, which was fine. But I would have enjoyed it more if he wouldn't have been injured, and we would have been able to see who the real champion was based on everyone being healthy. That's all you can wish on. But the point is that the East is wide open. So there's going to be a lot of aggressive moves in the Eastern Conference because it's wide open. And as you know, I love the Miami Heat. I've talked about this before. I'm a diehard Miami Heat fan. And they're gonna go whale hunting. So there's some moves out there that Portland could make. I don't see them doing anything to be competitive, because if you look at their record, they have one of the worst records in the league, 36-46, and they have no direction. Okay, like the Spurs, they have Wemby, they have De'Aaron Fox, they got the number 2 pick last night, which we'll talk about in another video, but they're loaded, man. Like, they're getting ready for a run. And the Portland Trailblazers, I just don't know what they're doing. I think they're just filling their books, for 3 years. And Scoot Henderson, I don't think has been what they thought he would be. These other guys, I'm not sure. You got to see how they develop. But this is a young man's game, and what they need to do is they need to collect draft picks and then draft young players and rebuild your team through the draft like the Thunder did. They got SGA as the main piece, and then they got 5 number 1 picks and started drafting players to match up with his talents. And you see the result on Sunday. They went 7 games with the Pacers and won the NBA championship. So that is all I have for the Portland Trailblazers. They're more of a endless rebuild team, and it's unfortunate because I remember in the 2000s when Scottie Pippen was on the team, they made it to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, they had a competitive team. I'm not going to say they were a championship team, but Scottie Pippen really played well for them. So I'd like to see them be competitive again. Thanks for watching Sports by Cap here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can get an update anytime we upload new content, and check out the latest videos from the show right here.